What is he doing? What is he taking out?
He's taking off. He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in
gloves.
his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
Oh my God, call the police.
Killers are often perceived as cunning and elusive, operating under the radar and leaving behind minimal evidence of their crimes. The chilling nature of their actions often makes them subjects of both fear and fascination. But what happens when the tables are turned and the hunter becomes the hunted? This is the case of 19 years old Miya Marcano. On September 24, 2021, 19-year-old Miya Marcano, a student at Valencia College, an employee at Arden Villas Apartments in Orlando, Florida, went missing. Mia's close-knit family in Broward County, Florida, became alarmed when she suddenly stopped responding to calls and texts while she was supposed to be heading home for a visit. Mia's aunt Simone later expressed regret, feeling Mia's request for a family visit might have been a call for help. Mia's last known communication was a text sent at 5:06 p.m. indicating she was waiting for an Uber to the airport. When she didn't arrive home and her phone went straight to voicemail, her family became worried and reported her missing.
Orange County Sheriff's Office. This line is being recorded. This is Operator Winstead. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to find out if I can have a wellness check.
The police were initially slow to respond. An officer visited her apartment but found the door locked and couldn't access it. Mia's cousin Kaylee took matters into her own hands and started investigating with the help of a security guard named Jay. They discovered Mia's window was unlocked, despite Miya having installed locks to prevent entry from the outside. Inside the apartment, they found signs of a struggle, including a barricaded door, bent jewelry, blood on a pillow, and Mia's beloved teddy bear left behind, which she would never do willingly. Their most significant discovery was a box cutter and a single rose in the trash, both critical clues. The family's investigation revealed further anomalies, like a chair placed outside the window and unusual tire tracks in the parking lot, suggesting someone had been watching Mia's apartment.
No, she's definitely not in there. But
She's not in there?
no.
Did you see you couldn't see inside?
Yeah, no, I saw inside.
Did you see any bags?
I saw 2 suitcases under her
Oh,
bed.
under her bed?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's...
I think that was always there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that...
Did you see a teddy bear on the bed?
I can't remember now.
You want to go?
It was...
Brings it. If she was fine, come and see it.
Really? Yeah, the room, it looked clean. Did anything look out of place?
The window, yeah. You opened the window. Yeah, you can see that her window is open. Yeah, she opened it.
The family gathered at Arden Villas to continue the search and encountered Armando Manuel Caballero, a 27-year-old maintenance worker who had met Miya when he started working at the complex 2 months prior. Armando's behavior was suspicious. He claimed to be looking for Miya, but his explanations didn't add up. He insisted he hadn't spoken to Miya recently, yet the family knew he had sent her a $600 cash app payment earlier that week, which she declined. Miya had shared screenshots of Armando's persistent and unwanted advances with her family and friends, indicating her discomfort. Despite his claims of innocence and attempts to justify the cash payment as a friendly gesture, his actions painted a different picture. The family grew more suspicious when Simone saw what looked like a key fob fall out of Armando's pocket. The family recorded their interaction with Armando, capturing him contradicting himself about his recent contact with Miya. Despite his claims that he hadn't been in Mia's apartment recently, the family knew he had a history of entering apartments under the guise of maintenance at Arden Villas. He had an assigned key fob which could access every single apartment and work during business hours. For after-hours maintenance, an on-call key fob was shared among the maintenance staff. 3 days earlier, on Tuesday, September 21st, Armando had delivered some fans to Mia's apartment due to flooding. Though the request was legitimate, the family was troubled by Armando's access to her apartment. When confronted by the family, Armando claimed he only dropped off the fans and left. However, the family's suspicions grew when he admitted he had access to the apartments and described the protocol of knocking and entering if no one answered. Mia's family, recording this encounter, captured Armando standing next to an officer, further questioning his claims.
Tati. You keep mentioning Tati and no one knows Tati.
You get a call,
the
all of a
roommates
sudden,
don't even know Tati.
You've been sleeping since
You
10
keep
o'clock,
saying
and all of a
Tati is
sudden
a
you're showing
friend.
up here at 4 o'clock in the morning
Because
looking
me
for
and
me.
Tati were conversating about it, so I finally, it came
Okay,
up.
but
Should I go
Tati
and
is
see if I
someone-
see anything?
No one knows Tati. That's my whole thing.
Not
Tati
even the
is
roommate
an
knows
employee
Tati.
here.
She's an employee, but you keep saying Tati is a friend and that you've all hung out together. No one here knows Tati. All her
Well,
other
not
friends
all
showed up. Her
these
closest
people.
friends that live in the complex were all here with us early on. No one knows Tati. Only you. As of right now, you have
work
sent
tomorrow? You work
obsessive
tomorrow,
texts to
Tati?
Miya. We have all seen the texts. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her gave
It's
her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case. There's evidence of obsession. You're fascinated with
It's
me.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this
No one,
like I'm a
no one's
stalker.
saying that. It takes
She's not here to
two.
defend herself right now, so
Obviously,
we
she's
gotta talk to
missing.
you.
So we're talking to
And
you,
I
who've been going
completely
back and
respect
forth
that. I
on
understand
text.
that. That
so
is your
cool.
family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody
one's
ain't beating
beating
you
If
up.
I'm guilty, why
But you
would I
put
come
yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
Because we're concerned.
You're concerned. Why weren't you concerned hours ago?
I just found out. We didn't think it was serious. I don't even know how Tati found out.
Somebody's
She told me
missing and you don't think it's serious.
Someone
maybe
that
they hanging out. They got this place right here. They go downtown. I don't know. Maybe her phone's off. I don't know what she did.
she was supposed to show up for a flight and didn't show up.
They mentioned the text he had sent to Miya, offering her his life savings and sending her money, contradicting his statement of having no contact with her. Miya had shared these texts with friends and family, highlighting Armando's obsessive behavior. Despite the family's concerns, the officer did not search Armando's vehicle, and he was allowed to leave. He was later seen driving around the complex with his lights off, raising further suspicions. A family member noticed that Armando appeared to have a bruise on his face, adding to their concerns.
Armando got in his car. The officer never searched the vehicle. I don't know if there's procedure. He never looked in the vehicle or touched anything, told him to wind down with nothing. The vehicle took off. They went to the maintenance room. They came back. Armando then left.
The next day, there was still no sign of Miya, and the police began to take the case more seriously. However, there appeared to be a lack of urgency, with the Orange County Sheriff's Office noting that it could take time before a detective was assigned.
Okay, I mean, it hasn't been turned over to a detective yet because it takes up to 5 business days.
How to consider someone missing?
No, I mean, there is a case number already attached to this, and there is a case. I'm just saying that they don't have it assigned to somebody. But that does, if we make contact with her and we run her name, we know she'll be missing because she's in the system as missing.
So who normally has? So you have a missing persons division?
This is considered a missing person, and they're not open today. They'll be open on Monday.
Miya's father speculated that she might have been attacked while in her apartment, possibly by someone hiding there. Friends and family shared their observations about Armando's disturbing behavior. Miya had received long, emotional messages from him, despite giving him little response. Her friend Jasmine described how Miya often shared screenshots of Armando's texts in their group chat, expressing her discomfort with his obsessive messages. Another friend, Rashid, mentioned Armando's habit of sending long paragraphs and giving Miya gifts despite her clear lack of interest in a relationship.
So my theory as to what happened is that she was in the bathroom, or maybe she was now getting home. Either she was in the bathroom or she was now getting home, and the person was under the bed. Okay. The person was under the bed, and so they had the box cutter and everything. And either when she came in, they startled her, or when she was coming out of the bathroom. You understand? The person who we suspect is somebody who works here. I heard about it. Okay.
Police officers came and they said they weren't going to do anything but file a missing person report. She's an adult. They can't do an Amber Alert because she's over 18. But according to that officer, this is a typical college room that doesn't seem to look obstructed or tampered with. He said they weren't going to do much until a couple days pass and it becomes more.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
And what do you want to report?
We just got like a message saying that a girl had been missing since like 5 p.m. yesterday, and me and my roommate around, I'd say maybe like 7 p.m. and we heard like a girl and a guy, and they were screaming, like, but it didn't sound like good screams. It sounded like really bad screams. And we actually went downstairs to see if we could like find anything, and there we heard like a woman and a man screaming at each other, like arguing in an apartment on the first floor. I don't know if this would be helpful information, but it was something that stood out to us last night. And after hearing about a girl going missing today, I figured I should report it just in case it could help.
And Jasmine, can you tell me what happened in a group chat between you, Mia, and the other individual?
Yes, so basically we have a group chat where we talk about like normal things that are happening, but in this chat there's just been multiple times where Mia like will send over screenshots like we do of like people that we're talking to or just things like that, sometimes complaining or just having issues with like Armando sending her long text messages out of the blue, emotional messages to her even when she was barely giving him like real responses back, sending her long emotional messages, getting upset at her for not responding to him, all types of things. And from the start, her making it clear that although she did find him attractive or whatever the case may be, she has never necessarily wanted anything serious with him. They have never dated. They've never been involved in any aspect like that. I always found it weird with that because I'm like, she's young, like she's 19, she's a freshman. I always found him to be weird because I'm like, this girl is like a young girl. She's not trying to be tied down with you, like, you know? And she made that very clear to him. So that's just the thing for me.
Did they ever have any altercations with each other or any kind
like
of
fights?
Yeah.
They never had any fights. He was very much a like messagey type of person. Like I never had any situations in regards to like her telling me like, oh, they got into like actual altercation. She did tell me that recently he tried to like make us not a scene, but like be petty towards her at work. He said it in a way like it was drawing attention because people were kind of like, dang, like why'd you say it like that towards her or whatever. And she was like, in the chat we were talking about, like, that's crazy that he's trying to like show out and call you a weirdo and stuff when he's the one that sends you long dramatic text messages every single day.
So Tuesday would have been the 21st. So September 21st was the last. And can you tell me what that message said?
Yes, so we were talking like normal. She said, I saw Armando just now. He had to bring me the blower and he was like, I think I cleared my mind enough and I'm ready to follow you back on Instagram. Because like I said, he would get overly emotional and obsessive over her. So like if she was posting and doing things and not talking to him, he would get upset and send her messages about that. So then she sent a screenshot after he left of what he said. And he basically said, everything else burnt out, but respectfully, I can't lie, I would have loved to taste you or see how it was at least once. And she said, y'all help me, what the F? Like asking what she should say to that. And I was like, what do you say to that when it's coming from a crazy person? And she said, no, for real. I'm like, whoa. And I said, I would be like, let's keep it cute, friend, because I don't know what to say. And I basically said that because I was like basically like deflecting from the talk because you guys said like we're just friends.
Mia's friends also recalled incidents where Armando acted inappropriately.
He started sending her like not like just like paragraphs. It was I could swipe and read it, and I like it was so much to read that I was like, dang, like I didn't obviously read through all of it, but she would show me like some of the stuff she was saying in some of the paragraphs and how like, and I was telling her like he's crazy, you know, whatever. And then he was buying her all this stuff. He was giving her stuff like every week. He got her like these flowers that were in her room, the blue flowers, because she had, I guess he overheard like a conversation that she wanted him or something, or I saw it on her phone or something. One day I opened up my apartment when Mia was staying there and he was outside doing something. And I remember because I opened the door to open the door for her and I was gonna lock it behind her and he was there and she was like, oh hey, he was outside my apartment.
Just standing there?
No, he was working on something, but like it just progressively got weirder and weirder and whatever. After like time started passing and she started seeing like who he really was and stuff. She told me like she was kind of nervous that he had the keys to her apartment. And one time she mentioned that she left her house one time, the AC was working perfectly, and she came back a little while after, and the AC was broke. She was stuck on 79, and I know like the maintenance people, like I know it's easy to mess with the AC, you feel me? And he was the on-call person, and so I'm thinking that he like messed with the AC because she would have to call the emergency line, which she has to respond to because it's after hours. So she said that she didn't want to call him, so she went to get another maintenance guy to come fix the AC. Mm-hmm. Some of my other friends have told me like he said stuff to them, like she found one of my other female friends found him like in their apartment. He was like, what are you doing in here? And he was like, oh, I'm fixing something. I remember he had said something to her. I think it was like along the lines of, I just want to like take a nap in your bed or something like that. Like, it's weird, you feel me?
Yeah, that is weird. For instance, he once entered another resident's apartment unannounced, claiming to be fixing something, but making an odd comment about wanting to nap in their bed. Such incidents reinforce the perception of Armando as someone who overstepped boundaries.
I had just gotten out of the shower too, and I heard knocking and maintenance. I didn't want to answer it because I didn't put in a report. And then I heard the door open and I heard it close. And then when I went out, they were still out there knocking, but I did hear the door open and close. So I got dressed, opened the door, asked him if he needed anything. He said, "Did you put in a report for your dishwasher to be fixed?" I told him no.
Investigators spoke with Armando's boss, Lamuel Arroyo, who described him as a peaceful but somewhat private individual. Lamuel noted that Armando seemed unusually quiet and shaky on the day Miya went missing.
How would you describe Armando?
I would say very peaceful guy, very easy to manage. You know, I was very happy with their performance. To keep eye contact, sometimes avoid eye contact. Now all this going on made me think, why sometimes when we're talking, he trying not look at me? I don't know. But then when he left, he was shaking, even without we knowing all this was about to happening, you know?
And you've never seen that before out of him?
No.
Another maintenance worker, Noel, observed similar behavior, describing Armando as more withdrawn than usual.
He was more quiet, you thought?
He was more quiet.
Was that...
I asked him, yo, you okay? He said, yeah.
You said the change you noticed was that he just seemed more quiet.
The police then reviewed the records of who used the maintenance key fob. They discovered that Armando had entered Miya's apartment at 4:34 p.m., just before she would have been home from work. This raised the possibility that Armando had been waiting for her. Security footage confirmed that Armando had been near Miya's apartment around the time the key fob was used. Further evidence complicated the timeline. Armando called the Arden Villas office staff at around 7 p.m., asking to be let into the front gate for a maintenance call. 5 minutes later, someone used Miya's key fob on the exterior lock of her apartment. It seemed unlikely Armando could have been at the gate and then used Miya's key fob so quickly, raising questions about who had access to her apartment.
My biggest concern is he has right now a fob that can get him access to every apartment because he's on call. So I was gonna have one of my employees just erase the fob, but the only way to do it is to literally go to each and every apartment door with a cancel key, because unless we have the physical fob, we can't just erase it. You have to go to each individual lock and do what's called an interrogation report, and then load that to the computer, and it gives you the lock history of everything. This is that. That's my on-call maintenance fob at 4:34.
So that's before, correct?
Yes, but I don't understand why he would have been there.
Is it Armando?
Yeah.
So he accessed her room at 4:30, correct? There's no service supposed to be in her room or anything like that, right?
And I don't remember if I saw that he left with that fob. She would have been home, so if he was just hanging out, now I'm like worried, what if he was literally waiting for her? They've got my head all screwed up, I can't know.
Determined to find answers, Miya's family began their own surveillance of Armando. They followed him to his apartment complex and noticed he was inspecting a dent in his car, suggesting he had been in an accident. Despite their suspicions, it appeared the police had not yet searched Armando's apartment. Yet it was then that they once again began recording, this time catching something truly shocking on camera. He has gloves. He has gloves in his hands. He has gloves, and what else? A blanket. My God, that is my blanket. As they watched, Armando carried a blanket that had once belonged to one of Miya's family members into his apartment. He knows what we look like, and he's looking at us. He's following him. Call the police, please, Miya. Kay, call them back. I'm videotaping. That's why I can't call. As unsettling as this discovery was, the incident with Armando was far from over.
What is he doing? What is he taking out?
He's taking off. He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in
gloves.
his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
Miya's Aunt Simone shared with detectives what had happened after they stopped filming. Simone said she started trembling and had to pull over because another Hispanic man got out of a car, videotaped her in her truck, and took pictures of her license plate. He then told her to get out of the truck, but laughed and left when she didn't comply.
Are you looking for Miya? I said, who are you? He said, I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me.
I happened to overhear Armando's address when he was giving it to the officer. And I said, I'm gonna do a pit stop. Put it in the GPS, and then we continued to his house. He didn't see us at first. I made a U-turn, and I went into the parking lot across the street from him. Here's his apartment complex. Here's my vehicle facing him. That's when he started touching the indentation of his car. He tried leaving the complex last night with his lights off, and he hit another vehicle. He was touching, so his vehicle is dented.
He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in
gloves.
his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
He knows what we look like, and he's looking to see
He
who's following him or whatever. Where the are the police?
Miya, Kaylee, call them back.
I'm videotaping.
That's it?
Send me videotape.
I'm videotaping him. That's why I can't call.
Someone's got I started trembling. I couldn't drive anymore. I just pulled in. Another Hispanic guy got out of another car, 2 cars down, came across the street. He videotaped the truck, videotaped me. He took pictures of me. He took pictures of my license plate. Then he told me, get out of your truck. Get out of your truck. I didn't get out. He laughed. Across the street, he went back, and he does this again.
This behavior, along with the discovery of Miya's blanket, solidified for her family that Armando was behind Miya's abduction. However, this interaction with Armando would come back to haunt them in the most chilling way. Armando left his apartment but returned 10 minutes later. When police found him and told him they wanted to look inside his apartment, he surprisingly gave permission for Miya's family to search while the police stood by. The frantic search was not recorded, and Miya's family didn't find her blanket. It seemed that Armando must have disposed of it when he left. No other evidence was found, and Armando wasn't arrested or questioned. He left his apartment around 3 p.m., and an hour and a half later, he was named a suspect in Miya's disappearance. To her family's frustration, he was already gone. His apartment was secured, and around 6 p.m., more than 24 hours after she was last seen, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a missing persons bulletin for Miya. It was becoming clear to some that the police knew they hadn't started their investigation soon enough. Meanwhile, calls began flooding into the police department from Armando's friends, complaining about Miya's family. One friend recounted that Miya's family had come to his house accusing Armando of kidnapping Miya, and he was completely lost and confused by the situation. Despite this, even Armando's friends questioned him about his involvement in Miya's disappearance. One friend recalled asking Armando if he was sure he didn't do anything, and his mother even prayed for him, saying if he was innocent, God would protect him. But if he was guilty, he would face justice. Law enforcement continued to search for Armando based on him using a maintenance key fob to enter Miya's apartment a half hour before she returned home from her shift.
Well, check the report. I guess. I mean, if they saw the blood and everything, it doesn't take long for the end of it. Just some miscellaneous papers and stuff. Passport, about 30 euros. Wallets, checkbook.
Yesterday, they pulled up to my house. I don't know if they were following my friend Armando, because my friend Armando supposedly he was talking to the girl that's missing. I had no idea what was going on. I came to my house, and then some fat bald guy came to my house. He was yelling at my friend, "Oh, you kidnapped my daughter! You kidnapped my daughter!" I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I literally just came from my girlfriend's house. What's going on? I'm confused. He was, "Oh, my daughter's missing. He kidnapped my daughter." And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I'm so confused. And then they just came to my house. They were at my house and just arguing. I'm completely lost now. Yeah. And I was trying to ask him, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? And my mom was on the phone too. I'm like, my mom was like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? Are you 100% sure? And I was trying to make sure, because that's someone's child that's missing. Yeah. I was like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? He was like, nah, I didn't do anything. And my mom prayed for him on the phone. My mom said, if you didn't do anything, God will protect you. And if you did something, you will reap what you sow.
The search escalated when an even more disturbing piece of information was revealed. Jessica Decker, a manager at Arden Villas, found something strange. There was an on-call message at 7:01 p.m. the night of Miya's disappearance from someone claiming to be Tristan Thompson, who reported a gate issue. At 7:11 p.m., Armando called the leasing manager to help with the gate, and at 7:16 p.m., Mia's fob was used. It became clear that the fake maintenance call was made by Armando, trying to establish an alibi. A press conference was scheduled for 1 p.m. on Monday, September 27th, but it was postponed when Armando's body was found in an apartment complex in Seminole County. His interactions with Mia's family had given no suggestion of his intention to escape justice in this way. He had appeared confident and frustrated rather than discombobulated. Despite this shocking development, there was still no sign of Miya.
Then the other thing that concerned me was there was an on-call message last night at around 7:01, and the message said, "This is Tristan Thompson. It's on the first floor. It's just on the opposite side of the apartment."
Yeah.
And it said the AC was out.
Okay.
It's a female unit, and an officer went over there the evening and knocked on the door, and they didn't call emergency maintenance.
Okay.
And that concerns me because of the timing of the last fob reading, which was 7:16, where her fob was used, but nothing was locked. So we got that on call at 7:01.
Mm-hmm.
He called my leasing manager at 7:11, saying that the gate wasn't letting people in, and she had to talk him through how to manually turn it off.
I felt so defeated, like, you know, this was the person we wanted to talk to, you know, to find out, like, just say something, you know what I mean? Like, confidence in how he was. He did not come across as discombobulated at all. He came across more like frustrated that we were bothering him.
Yeah, maybe the case.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Getting dark again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a little girl, and she's out there by herself. You know what I mean?
I know.
We don't know where she is.
I know.
We don't know if he's done something to her. We have this time.
We are trying.
Tragically, on Saturday, October 2nd, just over a week after she went missing, Mia's body was found in a wooded area behind TimberScan condos in Orange County. Her body was mostly skeletonized, bound with black tape around her wrists, ankles, and mouth, and was found with her red purse, wallet, jeans, a bra, a robe, and a necklace with her name. Due to the state of her remains, a cause of death couldn't be determined, but there seemed no doubt about Armando's guilt. Mia's blood and hair were found among Armando's belongings. Orange County Sheriff John Mina stated that they were not looking for any other suspects and believed Armando was solely responsible. Investigators speculate that when Miya entered her apartment, Armando attacked her, leading to a struggle. They believe he killed her in the room and then moved her body through the bedroom window into his car. Armando's vehicle was seen leaving Arden Villas just 46 minutes after Miya entered her apartment. He then went to his apartment before returning to Arden Villas for the fake maintenance call. Phone records and GPS data show he then went to the woods where Mia's body was later found.
Understand and appreciate that there's been a tremendous amount of interest in this case, both here in Central Florida and beyond. So we're talking to you now to kind of balance the intense interest while also maintaining the integrity of this investigation.
Was she kidnapped?
So we believe that the suspect that we had named, Armando Caballero, is responsible. We don't know all the circumstances involved. So at this time, we don't believe there is another person involved. But remember, I said these investigations constantly shift and change. So we're taking all this information in, and we would never ever rule that out. But he was the main person that we were focusing on.
Mia's family eventually filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Arden Villas, claiming negligence in giving Armando access to Mia's apartment. They also filed a lawsuit against the sheriff's office and 2 officers for civil rights violations and negligence. That's all for this video. We hope you have enjoyed this video a lot. What would you do if you suspected someone close to you of a heinous crime? Let us know in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this. Thank you for watching our video.